perfectly safe if used properly. But an increasing online market for components can leave some users vulnerable. And that's because if the battery is of poor quality or used incorrectly, that battery could explode. And the results can be devastating. Last year, Morning Live first investigated e-bike battery fires. Today, latest figures show the number of those fires is on the rise, up from 77 incidents in 2020 to an estimated 338 in 2023. Earlier this year, Uzbeki student Adkam Sindarov had to flee his London flat after an e-bike caught fire. What happened?
I heard a big explosion. The fire was burning all over, and I wanted to get through from the fire, from the hall where it was burning, but the fire was very explosive. I closed the door immediately and I opened the window. I wanted to jump down, but it was a bit higher on the third floor.
The dramatic rescue of the other trapped residents was even caught on camera following the fire brigade's arrival at the flats, just minutes after being called. What was going through your mind?
I didn't have any kind of options. I immediately shouted to the people, please help me, help me. To be honest, I'm lucky to be alive.
This is the devastation the exploding e-bike batteries left behind. Off-duty couriers owned the bikes, which were regularly left charging in the hallway overnight. The fire crew that helped rescue Adkam came from the London Fire Brigade's Whitechapel station. Craig Carter is the brigade's Assistant Commissioner for Prevention and Protection.
It's the fastest growing fire trend in the capital that we're experiencing at the moment. In 2023, there was 143 e-bike fires in the capital. That's actually tripled since 2021.
As a result of e-bike and e-scooter battery fires, 11 people died across the UK in 2023. And when e-bikes are charged and stored in communal spaces, this can add to the danger.
So often with e-bikes, we've found that people will charge them in hallways in their residence. We've found on a number of occasions it actually blocks people's means of escape.
Recently, London Fire Brigade teamed up with Amazon, so anyone who buys an e-bike or e-scooter from them also gets warning information from the fire service. But Craig feels even more can be done with other online marketplaces.
We found lots of issues with online sales where it simply doesn't have the same regulations as we would in the high street, and that's important. We simply can't assure ourselves of the safety of these products that people are buying.
In January, the use of one e-bike battery being sold on Amazon, eBay and Alibaba, among others, was described as having potential fatal consequences by the Office for Product Safety and Standards. They ordered it to be removed from sale. The lack of industry regulation is of huge concern to Giuseppe Capana from consumer safety charity Electrical Safety First. They know just how and why some of these batteries made from lithium ion can be so dangerous.
Are you Giuseppe?
Yes, indeed.
Nice to meet you, I'm Becca.
This is an e-bike battery going into thermal runaway, so you can see the venting happen. Yeah. And that's a solid aluminium frame that the flames have just burnt their way through. And they're so fierce that it's actually moving the battery around. You can imagine if that's happening in a room in your home, that it's just, goes off and sets fire to different things around the room.
And the smoke looks acrid.
Yeah, it gives off toxic fumes that are really dangerous to your lungs and your heart.
As well as fire and poisonous smoke, actually tackling an e-bike battery blaze yourself is fraught with risk.
If one of these fires happens from a lithium-ion battery, you can't put that fire out in the way you would normally use like a fire extinguisher or a fire blanket. That will not work on a lithium-ion battery because the chemical reaction creates its own oxygen. So trying to remove the oxygen from the battery just doesn't have any effect. You won't be able to put it out yourself.
Almost 40% of the e-bike fires dealt with by London Fire Brigade in 2023 were related to what are known as conversion kits, which turn a standard bicycle into an e-bike.
The problem is that usually when you buy a conversion kit, it's not complete. You get the controller, you get the motor, but you don't get the battery and you don't get the charger. It's then left up to the consumer to have to work out which charger they need and which battery they need, and quite often they get it wrong. And then you've got an incompatible situation which can end up in one of these devastating fires.
You might think that consumers would be partially protected thanks to extensive safety testing, but that's not always the case.
Well, at the moment, manufacturers only have to self-declare that the products meet all the safety standards. If they're tested to the right standards and they meet all the safety requirements, they're no less safe than any other product that you might have in your home. The problem we're seeing is substandard products are being brought on the market.
Instead, the charity wants a third party to approve the safety of all the products before they go on sale. But until that happens, Giuseppe has this advice.
First of all, make sure you buy it from a reputable retailer. That's the best way that you can make sure that the e-bike or e-scooter has been through all the proper safety testing. Don't leave it continuously on charge, and if you can, don't charge it overnight.
No one is saying not to buy an e-bike, as they can be a brilliant form of transport. But it's really vital that if you do, you're aware of the risks, because the consequences of not knowing them could lead to more catastrophic fires and more loss of life.